Hello, Dale Majors here, and welcome to another video. We're on day 6 of the Masterclass, and last time we talked about taking a strengths test and further identifying and doing some work around your past experience and just recognizing your hero genius zone, okay? Today, we're gonna go over the HATS model, and I'm really excited to share that with you. So, none of us can do it alone. We can't completely do it alone. We need the help of other people's perspectives. So, for example, I talked about the Pink Panther last time. You had Clouseau, he was the Pink Panther detective, and you had Ponton, he was the helper, a much more qualified guy, but he always valued the role of Clouseau, even though 90% he was a total goofball. But he always valued, no, he's great at this and he's great at that. He's the consummate professional. He always was talking him up and valuing a part of him. And so I'm going to share with you a HATS model. And the idea is we're going to go over 4 different perspectives that we want to use when setting goals and kind of defining what we want in a certain area of our life. We're talking HATS model, and we've got 4 perspectives and I'm going to walk through them. Great. So we have H stands for hope, and that is the dreamer. It doesn't have to be defined and whatever. It can be vague. It's the aspiration. It's the aspirational. Okay. It's the hope. It's the dream. Hope. A stands for actual outcome. That's more of the goal setter. Somebody who says, like, a perfect example in my life is I'm the dreamer a lot of times. I'm like, hey, it'd be so cool if we did this. And my brother says, Bruce, he says, but Dale, what are you actually talking about? What is that actually going to be? Because he wants to know in a more defined way. So that's the actual outcome. An actual outcome is quantifiable. It is, you could say, yes, that is now completed. Where with the dream, it'll be hard to be like, yeah, we completed it. The actual outcome is definable. T stands for tactics. Tactics is more of the pathfinder. I have a friend that is so good at solving all sorts of problems. Anytime I have a problem and I want help solving it, I ask this person, and he's amazing at helping me solve the problem. He's not, we work great together. I'm more of the hope dreamer guy. He's more the pathfinder. He's not great at coming up with the big dream. Like, hey, we want to do this. He just says, what do you want? Let me help you solve and figure out how to do it, right? He's kind of the brains behind figuring out how to make it happen. That's the pathfinder. And S is, so tactics is pathfinder. S for specifics, that is I call it the willing worker. So somebody who, so I worked with somebody who was so good at just getting down to business and doing things. If I ever spent too much time talking to them about my dream and everything else, they said, Dale, what do you actually want me to do? So it's that person who just gets in, and the workhorse that just gets it done, that doesn't need to worry about a lot of these other things. They just want to work, okay? So those are the 4 perspectives. We've got dreamer, goal setter, pathfinder, willing worker, okay? 4 of them. 4 of them. And so what does this have to do with goal setting? So the idea is that when we're setting a goal, we want to satisfy all 4 of those people. And if we can satisfy them, then this goal is going to be so much better built out than I want to lose 50 pounds this year, okay? And we're going to be more likely to achieve the goal. So let me give you an example. The first one's about yelling at children or raising voices. Then we can maybe talk a little bit about another one. So here's an example. My wife and I, this is months ago, but she said, we really need to have more peace in our home. And, I think she said, we got to stop yelling at the kids. And not to give you the wrong impression, we're not just going around yelling at our kids all the time, but we do have 5 kids under 10 and under, and sometimes our house gets hectic. So we thought for a second, we said, my wife Brittany, I said, what do we really, really want? And we thought, what do we really want? I think we mostly want that our kids feel loved and that they develop the capacity to love other people. So that was a lot more, that's the hope. So we said the hope is that they feel loved and they love others. That's the hope. And we said, okay, great. What's the actual outcome? Well, we don't want there to be yelling in the house. Okay, no yelling. That's the actual outcome. What are the tactics we're going to use? For me, the tactic was I need to be chill. I just want to be chill, and I don't want to ever, grab or snatch my kids. I don't want to ever be aggressive with them. I just want to be chill. Those are the tactics that I identified that I wanted to, espouse as I deal with my kids. So specifics, I decided that if I could be chill for 14 days, that I could go to a movie. We even decided, like, well, in this case, at that time, Thursday night was the time that would work best to go to a movie. So it was on Thursday nights. If you're chill for 14 days, you can go to a movie for this. And my wife had her own thing. So instead of just saying, we got to yell at our kids less and calling it done, we made a much more elaborate plan around it. We put all those different perspectives. Okay, so I'll give another example. I wanted to be more fit and just get in better shape. I've got a great inspiration in my younger brother who is always doing things to be more fit and in shape. He, like cold turkey, ran a Tough Mudder, the ultimate Mudder in Vegas, and did like 9 loops, which is 45 miles. He's insane and really inspirational for me. So I said, well, what's my hope? I said, well, my hope is that I have I want to look like Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, with my shirt off on the beach. That was kind of like the hope. Half joking, but half real. I'm thinking that'd be pretty cool. All right, so I wanted to have this Hugh Jackman bod. That was my hope. And I said, well, okay, great. What's my actual outcome? And so I started to identify things. I said, well, I want to be able to, one of the things is I wanted to be able to do a backflip. I'd wanted to be able to do that for a while, and that was one of my goals. So I said, okay, actual outcome, I want a backflip. I want to be able to run a mile, really quickly, at about 5:30. I think last time I ran it, I was 5:56. I wanted to be able to run a fast mile, and there were some other things that I wanted in this actual outcomes. My specifics were, okay, here's the additional exercises I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing this every day, that every day. The tactics, those were the exercises I was going to do. I'm going to do this 10-minute exercise every day. I'm going to, go running, more often. I'm going to go to the gym. And then the specifics are how often are you going to do each of those things. So every single day, I'm going to do this 10-minute workout. I'm going to run 2 times per week. So those were the things. And, and I share this example. It's not a perfect example. Like there are several things that I kind of got distracted from and haven't been doing. But by going through this process 6 months ago, I'm in a lot better shape and I'm working out more than I have in the last 10 years. And my fitness level is a lot higher. I'm able to do the backflip and, my mile time is faster. There's all these things that got better. So sometimes I think we're too hard on ourselves for, we didn't hit all our goals. I think the most important thing is that we're striving to make progress. Okay, so the first part of using this HATS model is to really identify what your hope and your dream is. And the most helpful way that I've determined to get into goal setting is, with this whole process, is identifying your key roles. So identifying, are you father, mother, employee, employer. I always have a role that says my own physical body, like how well am I taking care of me? And identify what those roles are. So for homework for today, I want you to identify what those roles are and think about your aspirations for each of them. So, and specifically during this process, I want to teach you the process. I don't think you're going to be able to, and you could create this for all of the roles in your life. What I'd recommend during this series is to choose one role and then create all the goals and follow through. Tomorrow we're going to go through the actual outcome. The next day we're going to go through tactics, then specifics. Identify one area that you really want to focus on, and then when you're done with this process, you can go back and apply it to the rest of the roles in your life. So that's the homework for today, is to choose a role and then identify, kind of make a hope statement for what you really want in that role. My hope statement, as a father towards my kids in that scenario with that goal was make my kids feel loved, help them love others, right? With my fitness, it's, have a huge Ackman bod and be in really good shape, right? It's not defined. There aren't specifics there. So tomorrow we're going to talk about actual outcome, and I'm excited to get there with you. So focus on your roles, identify what they are, choose one, and create a hope statement for it. I will see you on the next video. Have a good one.